Next, we've got, all right, Michelle doesn't look like she's here anymore. So if you are, please interrupt me. Okay, we've got Kirsten, close your picture. Okay, balancing the long-term goals and actions towards building something big, for example, investing on sites, SEO, professionalism, expanding our program to also reach nonviolent communication people and make sure the program fits them too, versus putting a lot of effort into filling our upcoming cohort. How do you use energy most efficiently? Kirsten, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good to see.
I already joined this call today at 1 o'clock because I kind of made a mistake in calculating times.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
to be here.
Where are you right now?
In Austria, south of Vienna.
Okay, well, it's very late there, so bless you for staying up. And,
no, it's 8 o'clock. It's fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
Kids just gone to bed. Yeah.
So, okay, the balancing the short term and the long term, this is just hard. How long have you been in business?
Well, I'm doing what I'm doing for the past 10 years, but now we're running this coaching school, needs-based coaching. You just dropped us a niche review. And so the first cohort we did, Pernilla is doing this for the past 6 years, coming up with this needs-based coaching program that I'm part of since 1 year. And the first cohort was completely full. And so we were very enthusiastic to just make it bigger and bigger and, you know, do all these things. And now the next cohort is about to start, the registration phase is about to start. And it's just constantly this balance between, do we invest into the bigger things or shall we just basically focus to fill up the next cohort? And I just wonder if you have some thoughts about this, or if you say, just focus on the cohort, the brand will build itself, because we're doing these beautiful Instagram campaigns that we then also share on Facebook, and like, it's all very beautiful, but it's a question of, is it really efficient?
Yeah, okay. So here's there's a hard truth here. You're in what's called phase 2 or stage 2 in business. So I'm just going to put this here in the chat. It's the 4 stages of business growth, marketingforhippies.com/4-stages. And you're in stage 2. And so in stage 1 in business, and as I go over these, you can sort of see where you are. Stage 1 is the creation phase. It's just you're experimenting, you're trying a bunch of stuff, seeing what sticks to the wall. You probably don't have a niche, you definitely don't have any kind of assistant or help. And it's just you're freestyling it a lot. Now in stage 2, you're starting to get a sense of the niche. It's focusing, maybe you have a bit of part-time help. And the challenge is, I mean, in stage 1, you're not paying almost any bills. You're not making much money. Stage 2 now, you're starting to just squeak by. But the challenge is, what happens is the cash flow is this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And it's like that because you focus on your marketing a lot. And so you get a lot of clients. You say, well, that's great. And then you focus on serving those clients. But then by the time you're done serving those clients, you realize, oh shit, we don't have any more clients. So now we need to market again.
Yeah,
so now we focus on marketing, and so this is just how it is. So you're not crazy. You're this isn't a problem. It's just a situation. This is the timing that you're in. Now, all of that being said, so, and I'll say it, and then stage 3 is where there's a kind of momentum phase where you are, you've got the systems, you've got the niche, everyone's getting paid, you have an assistant or 2, it's just working smooth. Stage 4, I won't go into, that's, most people don't even want to get there. So what do you do? Well, you realize I only have so much time and I only have so much money, so we got to make everything count. So this is where the niching work, the point of the foundation stuff, this is where it all pays dividends. And there's a certain amount of just, this is going to take longer than we wish it would. Tony Robbins had a line where he said, you know, most people overestimate what they can do in a year and they underestimate what they can do in a decade. So part of this is just taking the longer view. It's probably going to take longer than you think, because building the foundations and systems, it's so important, but it doesn't necessarily, it will long-term. That's the stuff long-term that will bring in clients, because the better the systems you have, the better the website, et cetera, you're giving people tools to spread the word. You're giving people good experiences, which is why they want to spread the word. Because this is the mistake people make, of course, is they just keep getting new clients. They never make their programs better. They never learn. They never develop the systems. So like 10 years later, they're doing the same program. It's no better. It's not improved.
Yeah.
And that's a missed opportunity. So mostly what I have is just commiseration, an affirmation. You're on track. It just takes time to build the thing, especially while you're living in it. To build a house while you're living in it, I have a friend who built an off-grid home, tiny home outside of the city, and she built on a real small budget because she was willing to live in a tent in that house before it was finished. So part of it is, well, how fast is it going to be? Well, how much sanity are you willing to bargain? Like how much? Because yes, you can pour in your time, but as entrepreneurs, it's not really money. It's this sweat equity we put into businesses. There's life force that we pour into it, which can be exhausting. And so then it's just what can you afford to do? And here's a little tactic you can do that is very helpful. Similar to what I said to Fern, is you would individually, probably best, but you could do this as a group thing with past clients. And you just say, we want more people like you. Where do we find you? Are there Facebook groups you're part of? Are there podcasts you listen to? Are there blogs you read, newsletters you're a part of? Is there a hashtag? Like, how do we find more people like you? And this can be good as a one-on-one call. And you just basically tell them, could we set up like a 20-minute call? We're wanting to grow this and find new people, and we thought you might have ideas where we could find them. Would you be willing to give us 20 minutes? And most people, if they like they're like, oh, sure. And then you just ask them, the first thing is you say, yeah, where could you imagine we could find them? And they may just have some off-the-cuff ideas, but then you start giving them the prompts, like, are there Facebook groups you're in? Are there podcasts? You give them some of the categories of things, because sometimes it just genuinely won't come to mind. But then you give the category and they say, oh, yeah, I'm in a few Facebook groups. Let me grab the links and, etc. And then at the end, it's like, thank you so much. These are amazing ideas. I'm also wondering, is there anyone who you know personally? Like in our last 5 minutes, is there anyone you can think of who you know directly? Maybe it's a colleague. And again, you can start giving categories. Maybe it's a colleague of yours, somebody you work with.
Yeah, that's really great.
But you let them know. It's like, we're here to talk about how to find people. And then if they do know somebody, it's like, okay, amazing. There's a few options. One is I can give you an email basically to send, like a pre-written. You can edit it if you want. Or you could just give me their email. I'll email them, but in the subject line, I'll say, hey, John Smith sent me. There's a few ways. What would make most sense for you? And also, you might say, if you get a sense they're really connected to a lot of people, it's like, hey, do you want to host like an intro thing? You're like a Zoom call, and if you can get like 10 people in, we'd be happy to do it. And you might lift that up to everyone, and you'd be surprised. All of you would be very surprised. Sometimes you think, we get stuck in this like A-list marketing, like, oh, I need to find a hub who's got a TV show or something that's like so famous. But sometimes the people who are most connected, most respected, are so under the radar. But you might say, this is an option. You could host something. If you get 10, do you think you could? Oh, I could get 10 people easy. Oh yeah, I'm in this Facebook group, or I run a Facebook group, or I could post this in my school thing. And you can do something like that. Yeah. So this is the quickest thing always, is just referrals from your existing most thrilled clients, and start with the ones who are most stoked about you, the ones who love the experience, because they want you to succeed. They want this to persist. So those are some ideas.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for your work. It's beautiful what you're doing.